What's up, Internet? It's Jake here with Visionary Training. I just got back from the Arnold Sports Festival, the Arnold Classic 2017 in Columbus, Ohio. I had a great time, but instead of making just a typical run-of-the-mill fitness expo video of just showing the long lines, the crowds, people I've met or whatever, I'm actually going to be talking about, are fitness expos worth it? Should you actually go? Because not everybody goes, and I'm sure there's some of you out there who actually want to know, should I even go to this? Is it worth it? So, without further ado, let's get to the video.
What if a child dreamed of becoming something other than what society had intended? What if a child aspired to something greater?
Okay guys, so the three kind of categories that I'm going to be talking about on if you should or should not go to a fitness expo is going to be cost, the physical benefits, and the experience. So I can't speak for other fitness expos like Body Power over in the UK or the LA Fit Expo or Chicago Fit Expos. A lot of fitness expos have kind of gotten really, really popular. But I've only been to the Arnold. I've been to the Arnold Classic the past 4 years. So from 2017, 16, 15, and 14, I went every single year. And I've really enjoyed myself, but there's some out there who it might not be for you, and if you go once, that might be enough for you. So let's start off talking about cost. So when you look about cost, the first thing you got to think of is the same kind of cost that you're going to encounter no matter what kind of trip or traveling you're going to do. So for me, I am from Kentucky, so driving up to Columbus, that was about 4.5 hours. That was no big deal for me, but I know some people have had to fly in. While I was down there this weekend, I overheard some guys that said they had come from Canada, so that's the farthest away I knew of anyone actually coming besides people that were working the expo or people that flew in from the West Coast. So you gotta look at that. It might be expensive for plane tickets, or if you can afford it, if you're on the West Coast, you might as well just drive up there. So you gotta look at those kind of costs. You also have to look at the hotel. If you don't book your hotel months in advance, it's just like any kind of event that's coming to a big city. Anytime you have like the Super Bowl, or you've got basketball tournaments like the SEC tournament, the National Championship tournament, anytime like that, hotels are always gonna skyrocket, jack up the prices. So you do have to be aware of that as well. And then there's just the general costs. You gotta look at what kind of food you're gonna be eating. If you're from a rural kind of area and you're going to a big city, these places are gonna be jacked up on the food, especially inside the expo, inside the arena itself. Any kind of food, meals, even like stuff like Subway or whatever, is gonna be a lot higher than where you would see it back at home. And the last kind of cost you want to look at is actually getting in the expo itself. It's only $20 for the Arnold Classic. Obviously I can't speak for other expos, but for the Arnold, it's 20 bucks if you don't get your ticket in advance. If you just show up at the door, it's 20 bucks for the wristband to get in the actual expo itself. You can always pay more to go to the bodybuilding show. I did go to the show, the actual Arnold Classic itself, 2 years. I didn't go this year. But you can look at those costs as well. If you're not just wanting just the bare minimum, if you're actually wanting to go a little bit higher, you could invest in that as well. Now, let's talk about the actual physical benefits, what you physically and tangibly can measure from getting the expo. Because I know there's a lot of misconceptions that when you show up, you're going to get tons of free samples, you're going to get tons of free stuff, free supplements, and you're pretty much going to make your money back. But that's not always the case. So when it comes to actually making your money back, the $20 you spent to get in the expo, the only way, in my personal opinion, that you're gonna make that money back is if you are hustling. If you're going to every single booth and seeing just how much free samples you can get, because you do get some free samples, but unless you're willing to wait in the longer lines, you're not gonna get the really good free samples like you'd get at the bodybuilding.com booth or the Optimum Nutrition booth, things like that. So you have to really hustle and see, where are they giving away stuff at, where are they raffling stuff at, and where's going to be the best free samples. You really have to be methodical. You just can't be nonchalant with it and just go by day to day and just expect to get that money back. You have to actually hustle in order to get that money earned back, to even make $20. The only other physical, tangible benefit I can see is, yes, there are some deals at the Arnold. They don't tax anything. So everything you're paying up in straight up cash. So there are some deals. So if you were, planning on spending maybe Christmas money or extra money you had left over, if you were planning on buying a specific fitness product like a lifting belt or straps or hoodies or clothing or anything, I mean, this might be the best place, but it's not always the case. I mean, some stuff is just regular price like you would find on the internet, maybe a couple dollars cheaper because you're not paying for shipping or taxes. But I mean, there are some deals out there at the Arnold, but like I said, you have to be really kind of motivated and hyper aware and really set out to look for those. You know, they're not just gonna fall out into your lap, so to speak. The last component of whether or not you should attend these expos is what I think is the most important, and that is the overall experience. Because cost for me was not that big of a deal. It might be that big of a deal for some other people. You know, I just went with the bare minimum. I only went to the expo for 2 days, Friday and Saturday. Saturday being such a crazy day, you can't even do anything hardly at all. Like I mean, you could pick maybe 1 to 2 lines and stay in for 3 hours and that'd be it. For the longer, you know, more important lines. But the experience, you know, you get to come and meet those fitness professionals. You know, we're all kind of geeks on the inside, you know, whether that's geeks for stuff like comic books, superheroes, you know, whether you're geeks over cars, fitness, art, you know, there's tons of kind of conventions. You know, you got Comic-Con, you've got tons of conventions. So this is, you know, this time for you to geek out. For those people who geek out over bodybuilding, fitness, sports, related activities like I do. So, you know, you're able to meet these fitness professionals. You're able to meet, you know, some of my heroes like Kai Green in years past, you know, Flex Wheeler, Jay Cutler, some of these big pro bodybuilders that you typically would not see. And even though that's a niche market, you know, you still have to look at what you kind of fanboy or fangirl out about, and if it's, you know, worth it for you to go to these events just to meet those people, to, you know, talk to them, ask them advice, ask them questions, and just to network. You know, if you are actually more of a producer than a consumer, and you're actually trying to get ahead in life in some facet related to fitness and bodybuilding, you know, this is a great place to just have a couple minutes to chat with somebody and kind of pick their brain to an extent. Another reason that I really like the Arnold in particular compared to other expos is that it's the sports festival. So you get to see other areas such as like powerlifting and strongman. Those two specifically I really enjoy seeing because that's not something that I'm about. You know, I don't train for either one of those. I don't know a lot of people that do. You know, I'm not in that scene, so to speak. So it is cool to see Brian Shaw deadlifting crazy amounts and seeing, you know, people lifting Atlas stones and doing other strongman type events. So that is one thing other to consider too, is that you get exposed to different avenues of fitness and different avenues of bodybuilding and powerlifting and strongman and even CrossFit. Yes, CrossFit is there. So so that's kind of cool to be exposed to those new experiences, just kind of see what it's all about for a weekend, even if, you know, you're not wanting to commit your own personal journey or your own personal training to that discipline specifically. But in saying that, the last thing that I think is really part of the experience is just being in the atmosphere, because you're in a building that's the size of probably, you know, 3 or 4, maybe more football fields with over, I think they said this weekend that I heard on the radio in Columbus that there was going to be over 200,000 people there. And you gotta think, when you're in that expo and everyone is around there, you know, everyone is there trying to achieve some type of goal. You know, they want to get better, they want to grow in some kind of way, and it is a really motivating experience. I mean, being there every single year, it recharges me for the year ahead, because you're around all those other people who, you know, believe that it's possible to achieve greater things, even if it's just simply, you know, growing your arms or getting stronger or losing a few pounds. I mean, just making those small changes. It's really impactful and it's really a great experience. That is it. Overall, you know, you have these 3 kind of areas to kind of consider. I'm a person who, you know, even though I've become desensitized to seeing these people that I used to, you know, when I would see Rich Piana or Phil Heath, I'd be like, whoa, mesmerized, starstruck, a surreal kind of experience. You know, that's kind of died down a little bit. That's what I was saying. Even though it's not so much a surreal experience for me anymore, I love it. I love, this is my life. This is what I feel passionate about. This is what I feel like I have a specific calling in. So I love it. I love going every single year. And I want to try my best to go next year and probably years to come. So that's it for you guys. I hope this video was informative for you, helpful for you guys. If you did like it, enjoy it, please just give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Leave me a comment, let me know if you've ever been to a fitness expo. And if you've not, why you haven't went, and if you have, what you thought about it, what your experiences was. I love hearing from you guys, so let me know. And if you want to see more videos, more motivational videos, more fitness videos, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, guys, let's keep it positive. God bless.